sharing all about the 4C's of creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration using Wixie. And this is a little preview to our ISTE presentation that we're doing a poster session on Saturday. So if you like what you see and want to ask us some more questions, you can join us on Saturday for the ISTE presentation. So 4C's, critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration. We know as teachers that we need to include a lot of 21st century skills as part of our curriculum. And the P21 framework has a number of skills. And all of them are necessary, but the learning and innovation skills known as the 4C's are often considered to be the most important as they prepare students for complex life and work environments of today's world. And I just love this little graphic because it's just all of the modalities of the 5 senses and the collaboration and the creativity are kind of highlighted here in this student work. So creativity is harnessing innovation and invention and trying new approaches to get things done, or intelligence, having fun. And students can learn how to be creative by solving problems or trying something new. Practicing creativity encourages students to look at something from multiple perspectives, to veer away from what's always been done and to think a little bit outside the box and figure out a better way. And when used by itself, creativity is great, but when combined with the other C's, it makes it even more powerful. So Wixie supports creativity by providing multiple pathways and scaffolds for students to share ideas. There is an amazing template library in Wixie, and I will flip to that to show you kind of all the different templates. There's some by subject. They're also by month. The month by month are always my favorites. And these templates allow students to drag and drop, to fill in, to add text and illustrations to various graphic organizers. Teachers can also create templates that have video instructions. So one of the really neat things about Wixie is you can add video to a screen. And if you record the video just by clicking video right here, it just comes as a little attachment on the screen so the student can watch the video and then complete the activities on the screen. There are also a number of choice boards in the template library. If you just search for choice, I'll quickly show you. There are a number of choice boards by month, by concept, by subject. And there's also a great PD choice board. So if you are a teacher and want to know more about Wixie and learn more, that PD party choice board is pretty amazing. These are just some examples of creativity. This is winter break fun. And every, I'll tell you a little bit more about this later, but every Wixie project has a URL. So you can open any Wixie project that you have the URL for. And this is just a journal activity that students come back from winter break and you say, please write about what you did over winter break. But in Wixie, there's just this template has a little snow globe. And so they've drawn their winter break fun for first grade and written a little bit about it. And in Wixie, you could have the students then record their voice. They could record a little video of themselves reading. And capturing video and voice are so important because you can always print out this first grade winter break journal when the kids are in 8th and 9th grade, but you can never capture that itty bitty voice or the sweet faces. So those are kind of 2 great things about Wixie. This is an aquatic ecosystems project that they drew and illustrated the layers of the aquatic ecosystem. And then this is a great takeoff on Brown Bear, what do you see? But it's Grinch, Grinch, what do you see? And this kind of goes into the collaboration piece too. I'll open this one up real quick. And this is a multi-page project. And in Wixie, each project can have a team where multiple students can add. So each student can have their own page. Or you can also have each student do their own project and then teachers can combine them together into one class project. They can also obviously start from a blank page. And what I like to call the blank page is like the promise of the blank white page, right? There's so much students can do with a blank white page, just like when you hand them a piece of paper and some markers or some crayons and say, go. Wixie does the same thing. And you can also apply this to almost any app that starts with a blank white software or offline, a low-tech hand them a piece of paper and you can still do like something like the winter break fun, or the brown bear, what do you see? So these ideas are across platforms. So critical thinking is the second C, and it's looking at problems in a new way and linking learning across subjects and disciplines. Students can go beyond memorization and discover facts and figures for themselves, ask questions, become engaged in the world around them, and embrace the conceptual understanding of material. And to go with the collaboration and communication pieces to help others think critically as well. So using templates, so this is a great quote about collaboration or critical thinking. Let you read it for a moment. So in Wixie, you can use a template to categorize, deconstruct, and organize information. That's over here. There's an animal empathy map in the bottom corner. The animal empathy map is particularly interesting because it talks about, they research the animal, but then they talk about how does the animal, what does it see? What does it hear? How does it feel? And so it lets the students step into the role of the animal they've just researched and apply that information. Students can use graphic organizers, they can develop diagrams, design solutions to problems, and create storyboards and presentations. Down here, this Create a Creature project, it's introducing the Kagak, I think is how the student would say it. And they created their own creature after researching different creatures. And so they combine different characteristics of specific creatures. It looks like a little camel, deer, anteater kind of guy. And they talked about what characteristics it has, and then what they do when they're threatened and what their environment is and that kind of thing. This is a math example where you can prove multiples of 3. So this is for some older students where they got to pick the number and then they could choose and prove the mathematical thinking about why it is a multiple of 3. This is a pre-K counting book. One of the nice things about Wixie is in the communication piece is how you can print. And so this is printed as a booklet, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. This is a counting book that has multiple pages that the pre-K can do. And then this one is a Spanish project, actually, where the students did some offline work and they drew a picture of their house by hand. And then we added that as an image. And then they took some templates in Wixie and used the paint bucket and colored in and personalized all the different rooms of their house. And then they wrote in Spanish. They practiced their Spanish vocabulary. And if I can turn up the volume.
Mi cocina tiene un fregadero, una estufa, una tostadora, un horno y un refrigerador. Yo cocino en mi cocina.
So in addition to being able to practice their Spanish vocabulary and applying it to the picture, they were also able to practice their pronunciation and their oral speaking skills. So communication, the third of the 4 C's, is sharing thoughts, ideas, questions, and solutions. And it's also the practice of presenting to a target audience. What information does your audience need to know, and how can you best keep them informed? It's not enough just to make a project to communicate your thinking and what you've learned and communicate your learning, but it's also important to remember who you're communicating to and who your audience is. Using Wixie, older students can create buddy projects or little buddies where their little buddies can create storybooks or picture books or vocabulary books for younger students, or younger students can present to their parents. There's a number of different ways that we can harness communication to effectively communicate an idea. So the quality of our lives is determined by how well we can communicate. And so Wixie supports communication in a number of ways. Students can use Wixie to communicate academic concepts and ideas, like over here in the Galapagos tortoise example, to raise awareness and to affect change about topics they would like to communicate with the larger public. There are multiple ways to share and publish. So in Wixie, you can publish digitally. Going to File, Share. You can share the URL, like I mentioned earlier. Every Wixie project has a URL, and it allows you to share easily to multiple digital platforms. You can also share by creating a QR code that you can publish and post in the hallway, in the library. You can create a booklet of QR codes. For an open house, you can have a student be presenting a project but have a QR code on their desk so a visitor can scan the QR code and see the digital version of the project that the student is presenting in person. And you can also embed the project on a web page if you want to go that route. You can also present and share via print. So when you go to file print here, like I mentioned earlier, you can easily create a booklet. So if you have an 8-page document or project in Wixie, you can print it in booklet form and it prints out 4 to a page. You fold it 2 times and it makes a beautiful booklet for the kids to send home or to practice independent reading. Can they read what they wrote? And they can also make little individual class booklets too. So instead of printing full page class books, you can print it in a booklet format. So each child, particularly in the COVID era where everyone needs their own materials, they can have their own individual booklets. You can also print a comic book format. You can print trading cards. Students can use Wixie to take their picture and make their own character in a trading card, or you can also make a trading card about a fact like the Galapagos turtle one. Postcards, a table tent, or a single page, which would be a single page printout or a flyer. So and you can print a border around them so you can cut them out, lots of different examples. And these communication ideas are kind of 5 different ways to communicate. This mirror is an SEL project where the student talked about themselves. Let me see if I can get the link to open. And turn up my volume again. And so this student put some pictures in of things that they like, talked about what their highlights and skills were, but then also made a video of themselves. And this is the same way a teacher could put a video into a project with examples.
I am a good friend. I am very thoughtful. And I'm amazing at football. Go, 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 go.
You just can't capture that in a printout, right? Again, here's the trading card I talked about. This suitcase story is a project some second graders do, and it's an ancestry that they do in their classroom when they study all about immigration and ancestry. They interview ancestors, then they synthesize all the information into what if they were coming from another country. So linked here is a lesson plan on the Tech for Learning website, and then a sample of the project. And I will show you just a little bit of the project, if I can get it to open. There we go. This is a published YouTube video of a sample. It's not opening, so we'll skip that. This is one of my favorites. It's a Mother's Day message, and these are some kindergarten students, and the cutest thing is just their voice and how they relate to love for their families. And this one is soft, so I will try to turn it up some more.
I love you as much as a flower loves the rain. Love, Isabel. I love you as much as a tiger loves its stripes. Love, Benjamin. I love you as much as a bunny loves to hop. Love, Kate. I love you as much as a panda bear loves bamboo. Love, Kenneth. I love you as much as a horse loves Luca. Love, Luca.
So I won't make you watch the whole thing. But the precious part about that is the students who created that in kindergarten are now freshmen in high school. And to be able to go back and just listen to their voices when they were in kindergarten and all the sweet things they thought about their mom and how much they love them is priceless. And then down here are some examples. You can communicate how-tos, like how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or how to do a cartwheel, or the 5 positions of ballet. So here is my daughter, who is 15 now and in high school. She's a sophomore in high school. This is her in 1st grade. I'm doing the 5 positions of ballet.
5 positions in ballet. First, get ballet shoes. Then, go to the ballet studio. First position, pretend there is a pizza between your feet. Second position, keep your feet turned out. It looks like first, but your feet are farther apart. Third position, put your feet in first.
Then slide your right or left heel in front of the center of the other foot. Fourth position. Do your third position, but slide the front foot up higher. Fifth position. Do your fourth position, but slide your heel so it touches the outside of your toes. And that is the 5 positions of ballet.
And as you notice, there's some lovely background music. And in Wixie, you can, they have a large library of many different styles of music. And so you can upload your own music, but you can also use a lot of the built-in songs. So that kind of adds a little more production value to the kiddos' projects. And collaboration. So all of the C's, all of the 4 C's are important, but each of the 4 C's together just improves upon each other. And so collaboration is working together to reach a goal and putting each person's talents, expertise, and smarts to work. And fostering a collaborative classroom environment encourages students to work together to solve problems. And every job virtually requires some sort of collaboration, even if it's just deciding where to go to lunch together, back in the day when we were allowed to go out to lunch together. And it provides students the opportunity to learn from another person, to learn someone else's perspective, to brainstorm with another person, and then decide together the best course of action. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. One of a great quote. So in Wixie, students can collaborate in a number of ways. Every project, like I said before, went too far, has a teams feature. So if I was in a class, I could go to my team and I could add all the other students that I wanted to add, and it automatically has the teacher as a part of the project as well. So the teacher can comment and monitor on the activities. Anyone who's invited to the team can work on different pages of the project. So this Weaver Ants was a partner research project where 2 partners worked together on the project. A solar system fact tour. This is a nice project where students could, trying to get it to link, where students can work together. That is not what we're,
Welcome to
you don't want to see my early childhood chapel? That didn't work. The solar system fact tour, those older students and certain students posed questions and then the other students went in to research them. For younger students, teacher can use the import page feature by just adding the plus page, and you can add multiple student projects into one class project. So this Tomorrow's Alphabet is an example of a class book where the teacher did just that. Each student worked on their own page, just a 1 or 2 pages, and then the teacher combined them together to make the book. So this was a 2-page project for each student. So this is based on a book called Tomorrow's Alphabet. I wanted to grab the book from my bookshelf and I forgot. But C is for kitten, tomorrow's cat. So each student illustrated 2 pages. C is for egg, tomorrow's chick. And then the teacher just went to add page and gathered all of them together to make a 20-something page story that has all the letters of the alphabet that the students wanted to include. This is the same thing, but it's a class book from 3 different classes. So 3 different groups of students, about 45 total, each made their own project page after they had studied the continent of Asia. And they illustrated their letter and drew a picture for it, used a paint bucket to make sure there was no white showing. And then the teacher was able to gather them all together. And this was printed as a class book to add to their classroom library for each of the 3 classrooms. So not only were the students able to see their own work, but they were able to see the work of their classmates and friends in other rooms. So the possibilities are really endless here. So today's educators know that we need to do lots of 21st century skills, but using collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity, or the 4 C's together, can make any concept and any curricular topic even more powerful. So that is all I have to say about the 4 C's. And if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to take those.